As with all of my training, if you guys have any questions at all, you know to reach out to me at any time. Really why I wanted to put this together for everyone is I've had a lot of questions from agents asking how I do the content piece, and you know it's kind of silly, but it is really easy for me to do once I kind of have the apps in place. And so the app that you guys saw initially, the original presentation, let me see if I can jump that on screen really quick. How many of you guys are working in Canva?
I am.
I am a little bit.
So I love it. If you're not using it, I would definitely encourage you all to jump on there and do it. So all of these apps here today, let me move this a little bit more. I'll go through each of these. What we're gonna really do is talk a little bit about the content, how I create my content, the information that I utilize to create my content, when I create my content, how I place it into my calendar, and then what I do to create the content and where to post it. So hopefully this will last us 30 to 45 minutes, but if you guys have any questions, you wanna do any follow-up training on this, I would love for this to be a series session where we're actually really deep diving into each of these apps, because I don't think this as a quick overview is good for you guys to get a beginner step at what to do. The one thing that I would say, I really put this into place at the beginning of COVID because I really had nothing else to do, and trying to dial in what was going to be easy for me to do and to continue to do as we moved out of COVID. And just going through the stages of this, I have been able to actually capture leads, which I never believed in a million years that you could get off of social media. But the one thing that I've done differently with my own business with respect to social media is I don't use it as, I think I used it more as a platform to kind of check in on everybody and then also just to share what I'm doing in my life. But I never really used it for the social aspect of it where you're trying to get engagement. And so some of these, a couple of these apps will definitely utilize for the engagement side of it, but a lot of it requires you as well to engage with your clients. And so, or your customers or whoever is actually engaging with you. So the one thing I like to think about is when you're, like, if you're gonna spend money and you're gonna do postcards or you're gonna put a billboard up or you're going to, whatever it is that you're gonna spend money on, that advertising piece, the aspect of that advertising piece is for somebody to actually reach back out to you. Here in this particular case with social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever medium that you want to use, when you're going on there, you have to really think about it as a form of you marketing yourself and give yourself that time to really be engaged and intentional on that. So what I mean by that is if you're going to post something, and this is coming from our fearless leader, Janet Carpenter, do not ghost. Don't just get on there, post, and then walk away from your actual post. Get on there, post, watch what people are doing. When people like you, whether they like you within that next, first 30 minutes, or maybe you come back on an hour later or 2 hours, or the end of the day, whatever that time frame may be very intentional about responding and engaging with whoever is responding back to you. Because just imagine you're walking in a hallway and somebody smiles at you. Now I know there's some people who look down and don't want to smile at you, but imagine if you smile back. Imagine if you actually wave and they wave back to you. Or imagine as you're walking by, somebody says hi, and you just walk past them. It's the same type of interaction on social media. So we all have to practice being social with social distancing, social through our media here. So let me go ahead and dive into our first screen. So just making sure you guys can all see this. So why is content important? I know for me, again, as I just discussed, I really use social media as a platform just to kind of share stuff randomly. No intent around it at all. I also thought social media was extremely hard, that it's just something that, I look at all these different posts and everybody has some amazing posts. And then as I dove deeper into where their posts were coming from, a lot of the secrets are what I'm about to share with you. But what I've realized as well is you want to come across as being the advisor, right, to whoever it may be, whether as realtors, you want to be able to sell a home, you want a buyer, you're looking to lead gen, right? This is your opportunity to lead gen, but just like you as a consumer, you need to know the people, and you need to know that they're going to come to you if they know, like, and trust you, right? I hear that all the time walking through the hallways in here. And so the content piece of it allows you to become that person. And I always tell everybody, your content is going to be completely different than my content. I work with lenders I have lenders obviously on our team. I also follow lenders today, and our content is different. Although the pictures may be different, but some of the messaging may be the same. The content in there may be the same. And then passions may also be the same. The things that I love to do, which is really just family and occasional, I don't even know about vacationing these days, but the things that I'm extremely passionate about, you'll see, and that should hopefully be different than, say, ABC Lender or Myra Talley or George Mata or Gabby, who are all of our lenders here at Prosperity Lending. That is one other thing that you can help to develop that relationship with people that are looking at you online. So make sure that you build that. Think of, when you're putting your content together, think of, how will this serve my client? How can this help somebody who may be looking at this? How can somebody respond to me? How does this make people feel? I always come from the intent of either motivating, inspiring, or encouraging someone. And that's just my whole social media presence. That's always been my thing. And it could be, there's a time when everybody knows when my daughter's in meet season, we are all gymnastics, right? And so from, like, I think January through May, it's pretty much meet season. And that's my passion during that time. That's not business related. And so I tell everybody, whatever that journey may be for you. I mean, I was actually thinking of creating a new content for a journey for me would be the COVID-15. I don't know how many of you, maybe that's a COVID-5 or COVID-10. For me, it's COVID-15, and I need to figure out how to lose the COVID-15. And so maybe that would be my journey, because I think whether it's 50 people or on the call here, 10 people, right? Whether it's one person who can get encouragement out of my video, who can follow me, who will actually respond to me, and actually this can help, then I've done my job. And so with that said, let me jump into some of the areas that I get content. I know a lot of you guys have heard about list reports, and for me, list reports gives me a great, it will give you as a realtor a great opportunity to show off your listings. It'll show off, if you're a buyer's agent, show off other people's listings. Obviously, virtual open houses is in there as well. One of the main tools in there is the shareables that they have. And let me run through the shareable tools in here. Very generic, right? As you're putting things together, you don't have to have amazing content every single day. You just have to post. It's been one of my goals.
Good. It's not on.
Can you hear me? One of my goals is to post every single day, whether it be through Instagram, Facebook, stories, the new reels that's out there for Instagram. So I try to find as much content as possible. And so one of the things with list reports, which keep in mind is free, you partner with one of our Prosperity Lending loan officers. Just let them know that you want to have access to list reports, and we will get you invited. And then all you have to do is get set up. But one of the cool things on here, outside of the marketing tips for you, is the shareable content. And every single day, you're going to get one of these shareable content. So you'll see here, and it'll stay on here, I think, for like 3 days, and then they expire. Now, I don't necessarily put the exact same one for today. I'll pull ones that really speak to me. So I don't always come in here and put this one in for the day. I'll pull one out and I'll download it and I'll save it. And then when I need a filler, I will add this to my content piece. Again, this is just creating your content, putting it into a calendar, and being able to share it. The other things that they have are the list packs, which you can just, based on certain things that you may want to highlight, whether you're in this particular case, I had homes with views. I think I did a condos and then a single story search here in Las Vegas. And I just threw that onto Facebook. And it actually got some engagement from them. Obviously, me as a lender, it would be a little bit different. They're seeing something that I'm posting on there, but you as a realtor, this is great engagement that you can have. And you can designate this based on zip codes. You can designate it based on subdivisions, whatever it may be. But this category called list packs is actually part of our list reports. And then the other piece, again, going back into your content side of it, is in the resource section. You have the daily list report. And if you can see in here, there's a lot of content as far as YouTube videos for different things. So I make this a practice of listening to, they come out every single day with a new track, and I listen to it every single day. There are certain things like here, it's got how to create, this is this morning's, I actually haven't listened to this, but today's is how to create a social media schedule. So different things in here. There was something I learned about cameras and such and how to dual screen on my phone. And I shared that with you guys. So different things that you can see in here as well as helping you become a better agent, just tools, tricks from people across the country. And so I throw you back into this, one for content, but two for knowledge base. One of the things as we become experts in whatever it is that we're wanting to talk about, right? As real estate, you're gonna wanna discuss listings, the market, what people are seeing with rates, all that good stuff. This is how you fill that funnel of knowledge and information. So this is the list reports. Let me go back to Canva, see if I can do this. And then keeping current matters. I don't know if you guys have seen, so list reports is free. Keeping current matters, I've actually had a subscription to them for probably 10 years. It gives me the best information about the market throughout our country. Talks a lot about the, it'll also segment into different areas of the country as well, West Coast. You can actually dial in even into our local market. But every month you get a monthly digest. But the great thing about this is it can also be personalized for you. And so different things like everybody asks me when I post this, like, hey, this is great content. How did you create this post? And I hate to go back to this dirty little secret of mine, but it comes from keeping current matters, and it is actually branded with my information on here. So once this is I think it's a $25 subscription. You can go up to $39 if you want the videos on here. But once you get it personalized, the information that pops up, and it's daily. You get different things daily. You get a monthly digest. You get daily content. There's things that you can post directly onto Facebook, onto Instagram. And then you have these great infographics, which for many of you who've seen my mortgage moments or when I'm jumping online for the signature sales meetings, you'll see some of this information. Like I just posted this yesterday, right? I posted this onto Facebook. It comes personalized here. You go through your dashboard, quickly put this together for you. I easily go in here, download, and then I post to share. Or if you do, what I've become accustomed to is Sunday is my content creation planning week. At the beginning of the month, I usually plan it for the whole month. But on Sunday, I'll usually try to time out any of my apps that I can schedule, or on my calendar, I'll actually put down what I'm going to be posting and when. No time, there's no like specific time frame. I know some people say 11, 1, and 5 or 8, whatever. You'll see every morning from me when I wake up and I'm feeling motivated and want to inspire you guys, you will see from me an inspirational quote first thing in the morning that drops right onto my Instagram stories. And know that that is where my head is at in the morning. That comes from me personally. That is not prompted in any way. I'm really just either listening to my Darren Hardy, I'm reading this information, or just a quote that just popped up in my head. And that's usually the first thing you'll see that gets posted in the morning. And then typically in the afternoon, because everybody right now is on social media at any point of the day. I feel like obviously with COVID, really from like 6 a.m. until 10 p.m., right? So anyway, so the benefit of keeping current matters in this specific post is that you can actually schedule this post. So one of the cool things is if there's a generic one, not necessarily specific on rates that are moving or any of that stuff, I'll schedule a post just randomly for the middle of the week. And so it'll automatically go, and that just helps to add an additional piece to my content that's coming out that day. But it's a quick click and link post, or click and share post. And this is actually coming from Keeping Current Matters. Let me see if I can shut it off here back. Maybe not. Okay, cool. And there's also like a buyer selling guide. So for those of you who utilize landing pages, you can actually go in here and get a personalized buyer's guide or seller's guide. And it's something that I always put on my, if you know, as a landing page for somebody to get content from us or want to get information from us, this is the lead gen opportunity. You ask them if they'd like to get a free copy of a digital buyer's guide or seller's guide. That information is here. You capture their lead information and then you ship them off the one of the guides that they're requesting for. But this is a really cool tool for blogs, for some just infographics that are specific to market, so real estate related, interest rate related. You'll also see in here, see if I can go in our social graphics. And this you've probably seen on my Instagram. So there's hundreds of these, right? They come out typically every other day, I believe, is or every 3 days it comes out and it drops. And I don't pick the same one on the specific day. For me, I prefer to mix it up because I know that other people have the same app. And so I like to mix it up and post differently than what is scheduled for that day. But you can easily click on here. This is a social graphic. If something on here is calling to you, you can add your own captions, or you can quickly copy the caption and post that to social media. Do you guys have any questions at all on these two content pieces? Am I moving?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I did have a question, but it was about list reports. I was just curious on how do you pick like a selection, like how do you do a zip code or how do you, search for the homes with the view?
Got it. So the list pack side of it is, let me see if I can share this for you. Technical difficulty here. Hold on just a sec. Uh-oh. You would, there we go. Okay. So in our list packs, you would come into your live. These are the ones that I've already pushed out. But they already have some that are set up, or you can go in here and actually create new, depending on whatever it is that you want. So whether you want it, and you can pick the image that you want in here. My default is Las Vegas, but you can click a specific zip code and you can create it to be, you can see how specific this gets. If you have any, like I can do a separate side training on this specific to list reports, but I would definitely, if you're already in list reports, all you have to do is go into live packs and just tool around in there just to see what different things that you can do, because they have the automatic ones that are already set up, and then you have the specific ones that you want to customize.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
Of course. All right, jumping back to I don't know why this is, there you go. Okay, so a couple other places that I go when you can't see my inmin here. I also read NAR, National Association of Realtors. I like to see what's really happening there. A lot of the things from Keeping Current Matters also references NAR's information, but there's some great stats in there. The FAQs that are great in there as well. There's also Inman. I subscribe to Inman, but if you go to Inman, just their website, there's great content in there as well. One of the things that, and I consider myself a little bit of a nerd about this, but I do love to I love to learn, right? And so part of my daily routine in the morning is to read something of content coming from the industry. And that information, I don't always post like that day, right? I will collect it. So I have on here the notepad, and then I also, which is for Apple based, and then I've got Keep, which is like a notepad for Google based. And I'll show you what I do with, let me see if I can go on here for that. So both of them should allow you to basically talk into and dictate your text. And so I'll go in here and I'll just talk into my phone, and it'll save all the dialogue that I have, and it'll create these different things. And then after I'm done talking, I'll put my caption line on it, and this will actually become one of my posts. So I'll quickly, review it, make sure that it makes sense, and it's obviously something that would make sense on content. I'll just copy, paste it onto my Instagram or Facebook or whatever I'm posting it onto, and it's then my content is created. Something else that I do is I just randomly think of things, right? Or if I'm reading reading the information off of like NAR or the Daily Report or Keeping Current Matters, and something really resonates for me, I'll just jot it down, and or I'll put it onto my notepad to keep it front of mind for me. And then usually what I'll do is if like, as I'm taking pictures or walking around or where the case may be, if something, as I'm scrolling through my photos, reminds me of the piece that I've just created on my content, I'll attach the two, and then that will go out as my content piece. So now I have a cool picture, and then I also will, that's personalized for me, and then I'll have content that's on here. So, as an example, I think on last week, I posted something about my dog smiling, and I had written something, content piece about smiling. This picture was actually taken maybe a week and a half ago, but I put together my final content piece off of Keep. And so I took it right off of Keep. I changed up some of the stuff. I added my little emojis. And then the other thing that I did is I added my hashtags in here, and then I posted it. It's really that simple. So as you're walking around, as you're waiting in line, as you're, whatever it may be that you're stalled for whatever reason, you're just sitting there and something randomly pops up for you, make sure that you keep that information in a place that you can always go back to. Whether, again, it's in a notepad, whether it's on like Keep, or it's on the notepad for your iPhones. That way, when you're thinking about something, you have an easy place to go back to and reference to. I also do it for books. So one thing that I'm going to start to do to just add to my content is I read a lot of books. And so I believe that there's some great content in the books that I read. Clearly, I've only put one in here, but I do read a lot of books. I put the information in here. So the Big Leap book has been the last one that I've read, and I'm just starting to read, but I've got some notes in here as to what impacted me. And my thought on this is, again, how I can share and help somebody else is by taking the information, whether I do a video or I do an actual post, I'm gonna come back to this actual content piece here that I've saved on my Keep dashboard, and I'm gonna utilize that as a way for me to build up my content, whether it's for video, whether it's for my social media site or anything else. But know that this is how I keep track of all of my content. It's either gonna be on an actual notebook, or it's going to be on my digital notebook. Any questions on that at all? I don't know why
Yes.
Go ahead.
How do you make those boxes?
Which boxes? These?
No, when you were in, yes, those.
So
like,
this
how
is
do you make
category.
that?
So this is in Keep. I think for Notepad, if you have an iPhone, it automatically stores it based on that Notepad. So this is a free tool through Google. For those of you who are Apple users, I'm 100% Android, so it's really, even working on this iPhone or the Apple today has been a little, this is the reason why Brandon and Beta had to set me up on two separate dashboards, because I know how to operate on my PC, but I am utilizing their Apple or their Mac for the presentation. But if you're using your Notepad, you can also categorize on there, and then this is Google Keep. And so this is my, oops, sorry. This here is all of the notes that I have in here. And so anything that you put in based on the category is going to be boxed. And then I have it specifically separated for content.
It looks better than actually the Apple Notepad, because you can't see everything. You only can see like one line.
Correct. Yes. So this is free, and it's also Google. And the cool thing about it is, so this is on my laptop as well as on my phone. So if I'm on my phone and I just need to dictate, I'll dictate right in there. Even my shopping list I put in here. But this is one way, as you're I'm starting to do some of my content creation on my computer now, where I used to just do it all on my phone, but I at least have both, the ability to utilize both. Any other questions on that? All right, the other thing that I've been doing, and I've just, thanks to Teresa Price with Chicago Title, she kind of clued me into the hashtag usage. And so in Instagram, you have the ability to post hashtags. And I never really understood what the hashtag phenomenon was, but in the last, I wanna say month, I've been adding different hashtags on here, and I have seen my followers increase. Actually, in the last month, it's gone from like 100 actual people who are engaging with me, 100 actual people who are engaging with me for months or years. It's not been anything other than that. So I believe it has to do with the hashtags, because it's now drawing attention to these specific hashtags. So I utilize this app called Best Hashtag. And again, free. And I'll share all of these links with you guys in the presentation and the presentation deck afterwards. But I type in, you'll see here, I put real estate. Quickly click that. You can just copy this information. Now, the one thing is, if you're starting to build up your hashtag list, you can then take this information to your Keep, right? And I'm going to create a new memo. Maybe, whoops. So the title on this is going to be hashtags REO, real estate. And we're just going to list that. Now, if I wanted to have, so these are 30 of the most popular hashtags for real estate. I don't want to have, say, this best hashtag on here. Let's say I want to do my lender for life. And let's say you want to say in here, signature life, and maybe you want to do house, Las Vegas homes in here. So this will be something that I'll always be able to reference. And all I'll do is, as I'm posting, you'll just come back to your Keep, or as you're doing your content inside a Keep, you'll just add this to the tail end of your content piece. And the hashtags for Instagram is really the only way for you to, is one of the best ways for you to get the engagement based off of what you're putting into your hashtags. So keep in mind, people are searching this based on your hashtags. Sometimes I used to think to put, fun things in there that really were funny for me, but nobody else would be searching them. So it really had no relevance in putting this hashtag on my Instagram, other than just making myself giggle. So now I see that when you're putting these different things in here, it expands your range of viewership, because people who are actually typing in real estate or signature life, which there's now a category for signature life, and all of the pictures you post with signature life are going to be shown on Instagram, or lender for life. All of my lender for life posts and tags are now on this category inside of Instagram. So make sure, if you're utilizing Instagram, you have to be using hashtags. And so I go to Best Hashtags. You can type in anything. You want to type in Las Vegas, you want to type in mortgages, you want to type in luxury, whatever it may be, you just type it in here, hit the search button, and it quickly will pop up the most relevant trending hashtags for that request that you asked for. Any questions on that? All right, so moving right along. The calendar. So this is just an example of what to post. This is Facebook, but you can utilize it for either Instagram or Facebook. I know with Instagram, you can push your Instagram post to be shared on Facebook. The one thing I would encourage you to do is to mix it up a little bit. Do not put the same, like it's okay if you do it, but don't do it every single post. Take what information you have here, if you post it in Facebook, add something different. Or if you're doing Instagram posts, collect your Instagram posts and post it onto Facebook at a later date so that it mixes it up. Because consider a consumer is looking at this and they just know, okay, well, Estrella is going to post this information today and it's going to automatically go to Facebook. They will forget to go to your Facebook page. For those people who are on Facebook who don't go to Instagram, you obviously want the content to actually be shared. but maybe not share it on that exact same day, maybe share it the very next day. But be intentional about sharing the content. Just try your hardest not to share it, not to do the Facebook share and make that the only time that you're posting to Facebook. But I wanted to share this calendar for you. What I typically will look to do is a jib, jib, jab. So I'll post something mortgage related, real estate related, client related, and then I'll post something about myself, whether it's lifestyle, passion, something funny that's happened. And that doesn't happen very often. So I have to collect a lot of these funny things that happen to me. But I try to mix that up. And I've seen that now that I've been calendaring my content, it's been easier for me to do. It's also been something where I'm actually like booked out in my content, right? And if I'm adding different pieces, which is totally fine for you to do, it just gives me more opportunity to actually stretch out my content from, like, I'm already into the middle of September for some of the content pieces that I'm gonna post. And they're not, anything life-changing or anything like that, but it is definitely something that is creating engagement for me. So I have this posting calendar. There's a lot of different, I have another one that I can share with you guys as well. The most important thing for you to do is to really just do it. Whether it's to do it every single day, to do once per week, just to do it and come up with the content to do it, and then make it very intentional about when you're going to post it. Just like going to an appointment, just like you're going to invest a lot of money into doing direct mailers or lead gen purchases. This same thought concept around being intentional about your posts. Know that what you're posting is going to help somebody, right? Even if it's just that one person. So I wanted to share this content calendar with you. Creating, so this is kind of the fun. So the content piece was always like tough. Now I've got all the content pieces. I know where I'm going to gather them from. Sometimes it's just life in general, right? And some of the pieces that I think about you wanting to do is just make sure you're incorporating your profession, right? If you like high-rise luxury listings, maybe you just stay topic-wise on that. Or you want to talk about buyers and how to enter the market, or second home purchases or investment purchases. Whatever the case may be, categorize that, make that content, build around it, and then start to put them into your calendar. And then the fun part begins in creating it. So as we go through this, Canva is the #1 tool that I use in creation, and I can utilize this on my cell phone. So when I'm just hanging around, not doing anything, I'm watching something, semi-watching something, I'll just quickly pull up my Canva, put up some different information in there, and try to capture some pieces. And it is super simple to do. I actually created this, created my initial cover sheet for the presentation right off of Canva. And you'll see here, you'll see this piece was the background for it. And then in my head, I was like, oh, I'll just put together all of the different things that I'm going to be discussing. So I went and did that. I pulled this piece in here. And then the other, I know Canva also will allow you to do this, but the other thing I utilize is the remove background tool. So the remove image background is very easy for me to do. You can use it on Canva, but I use this for a lot of different things. I use it for Canva or for some of my marketing pieces. If you need it to be a little bit more higher, what is the right word? Better quality on the image, you do have to pay for the subscription on it. But otherwise, if you're okay with what you've seen on my stuff, this is ultimately where I've gotten it from. So I'm going to just show you an example. Here's Bobby Camacho. All right, so she has her background here. It's already been quickly removed. You saw how fast that was. I'm going to pull her off here. So now I can use this piece on anything. So whether I put this onto a flyer, whether I put it on a banner that has her information, contact information, or she does a lot of virtual open houses. So we can add this to her picture on there. So it takes that background off of her, and then you can add this to any of your collateral pieces. So this is called Remove BG, and it is free unless you get the higher pixelated picture, which on your cell phones, you really don't need it to be high res. And Canva, again, also has this ability to do. Okay, so I go through Canva, which you'll see here, some different things that I've created. So if you have not gone into Canva and really looked around to see what's in here, it literally is like having your own design studio for you. And some people use PicMonkey as well. I'll use PicMonkey a little bit more for videos, but I love Canva for quick creations, not even really quick, but really good creations around your Facebook posts, your Instagram posts. Why am I not able to scroll? Here we go. You'll see, and it stores all of your designs, right? So here are some designs. I put this up as a Facebook post. I did our little logo in here as an animation. I think Aaliyah also teaches on this. So this is just really easy things that you can do depending on what it is that you want to post. And again, the biggest benefit I think is you can use it on your phone, or you can use it on our laptops. You'll see logos, flyers. My presentation deck was built off of this. You've got the cool animations on here. Your YouTube for your thumbnails, which I'll show you as well. Everything that I've designed so far in the last like 6 months has all been off of Canva and or PicMonkey. Then go back in here. Any questions at all so far? All right, going back in here. So, ooh. Little technical difficulty. Okay. All right, so what else do we have? InShot is another thing. So for videos, I use InShot. I think there's iMovie on your iPhones, but InShot for me works exactly the same way as your iMovies to put together your quick snapshots on, as you're thinking of different things for your content pieces, right? So maybe you just closed on a home. Like I have a piece in here that this borrower right here. So she was, we actually helped her utilize down payment assistance to purchase her very first home. She actually worked with Jen and Glenn, and she was able to meet with them, figured out that she can get financing, and we were able to put her together. I did the remove background. I added this Canva piece in the back, and then I just added this little quote on here and then the little blurb so you can kind of see it. But the main benefit is that we created this piece, and you can actually post this, right? This is going to be something that you'll put on the Instagram, and then you'll share the story around our client here or your client. So all of these different things that you're going to use Canva for, you can easily create in there, and then you're going to want to work to post it. Let me see if I didn't miss anything in here. Okay. Then the connection piece. So as you go into Facebook, let me go into our Facebook here. So I know we all have our agents of signature groups. One thing that I have also created, this will be my little cheat here, but I have your groups, right? So I have my friends, I have my, where are they? Not just your groups. So these are the groups where you have, this is the other thing I would say, to engage into different groups. So one of the things that I did was I joined all of these different real estate groups, and I got some information. I'm in the Canva, how to design a really good Canva piece. I have infographics that I've learned, that I've gotten content from as well as different content pieces. But when you're also when you're categorizing your clients, so you can set up your friends basically as your clients, past clients. You can have a VIP group. Andrew Lunsford has his signature VGK group, whatever it may be, and you start to drip into that, into your actual groups. That will build your exposure. But again, going back to Facebook, being very intentional about what you do, you need to build these groups and be intentional about what you're posting inside of those groups, And then also that you're engaging with the people that you have inside of those groups. So, or in your friend list. As an example, I have a realtor list and I have all of my realtors in there. I'll post in there, and then I will do probably once or twice a week, I'll go in there and just like and comment. And now it's different to just like. You have to fully go in and engage with them and put more than like a thumbs up, or, you know, really look at the dialogue and comment and put a few words in there as commenting, because that's going to help build up your the algorithm within Facebook. And so that is in Facebook. And I would say most of your, like, Instagram is going to be a little bit more mainstream, and you're going to have like a younger demographic in there. Not to say that there's not an older demographic inside of Instagram, but I do see that you can hit a broader range inside of Facebook. And I also post into LinkedIn. That's been one of my the newer places that I've gone into, but I'm not as experienced in LinkedIn yet. But that would be one of my next follow-up series, would be LinkedIn. But I would definitely say, for anybody watching this video today, pick one or two mediums that you want to become an expert in and dive into them. And if you're going to utilize Facebook, make sure that you're using your business page. You're also setting up you're engaging into different groups, as well as setting up your own groups. And then you're segregating your database based on whoever you're trying to target, whether it's, I would even do it as a realtor, your own other realtors, right? So you can kind of see what's happening with your other realtors, but it gives you an intentional view when you're looking at that, set. Going into Instagram and Reels. So Reels is like the new thing. I don't think I can see it on my dashboard, but Reels is like the TikTok. And I've only done video through it, but you can actually do great transition pieces with music. You can do text, you can do lettering and such in there. So it's going to be very similar to TikTok, which is like a crazy, super millennial app that my daughter is really trying to teach me how to learn. But again, I'm trying to be a professional or trying to be a pro in Facebook, Instagram, and I'm now bleeding into LinkedIn. But this is your Instagram. The one thing that I would say about Instagram is you have your posts, right? And so Instagram is all picture based. So the one thing that I would say is be very intentional about what your pictures look like. The content piece, again, that you're creating on your app, whether it's your Notepad or Keep, is something that you're going to post inside of the body, and making sure that you have your hashtags in here as well. The other thing that I would say with respect to Facebook and actually Instagram, inside of your post, you want to make sure that you're not putting links to pull people away from their site. I always add any links, I mean, outside of obviously this event, add your links into the comments. The more comments you get, the more you're building up your algorithm, but it also then lets Facebook know that you're not adding this link in there, and it'll help to promote it because it knows it thinks you're not pushing them out to a different site. So that's just a little tidbit on that. A couple other things, your bio. So I actually got rated on my bio, and this is even still not super, is not a super great bio, but I had just different highlights about who I am. The one thing I would say you want to do is really put who you are and why you're here on social media. So for me, it's to help my clients build wealth through home ownership, right? And so a little vague, but I want to add in there that, I'm a mortgage lender in Las Vegas. I serve clients by buying and refinancing in the states that I'm licensed. As a realtor, you should be putting that information in here as well, specifically dependent upon what you do and how you want to serve your clients. It's cool that you're a mom. It's cool that you've got I have an amazing gymnastics daughter. You can put all that stuff in there as well. But I would definitely say you want to highlight your bio to be based off of you and how you can serve people that are going to pull up your profile. This is actually the next thing I'm going to work on for myself. I think as a realtor, these should be like your listings. It could be maybe great stories or your buyers. It could be open houses that you've done. And then obviously how to build your relationship, share a little bit about what your passions are. When I initially did these highlights, it was really just the top of mind thing. But now that I, again, am becoming more specific in my social media presence, I want this to be relevant to people who are looking at me and they know that I'm a lender. Which, jumping back to that content piece, the one thing that I think we all forget to do because we're so humble is to let everybody know what we do in our line of field. And I think I talked to Andrew, he posted something yesterday as far as, you know, somebody just didn't know that he could also help people who are veterans, because for whatever reason, somebody mentioned that only VA people could go to one VA lender for that. I think sometimes we forget that we are realtors or we are lenders, we're in the real estate industry. One, you've got to let people know that, and the way you do that is through how you build your content. And then two, you've got to also express that and ask for the business. So that's one of the things that you want to focus on, is what you do in the industry, how you can help serve somebody, and then how you can ask for the business in a nice, thoughtful way. IGTV is another thing that I've been trying to utilize with your videos. And so we'll get into that as far as YouTube is concerned, but content, not just posting, but try to get better at using the content through video as well, because the video is actually will pull your algorithms up higher and faster through Facebook, Instagram, and then YouTube as well. And then Reels, which is not on here, as we spoke about before. On your phone, you'll see Reels will be pulled in here. Hashtag, I just want to make sure I'm reaching everything on here, but this is Instagram. Any questions on Instagram? Talked about Reels. YouTube. So I'm pretty fortunate that my daughter put together my YouTube channel for me. But I would say all your video content you need to throw into YouTube. You'll see here all of she created actually on, I think PicMonkey. The stock photos are all in PicMonkey or Canva. She put the logos in here and then my information. And you'll see all the mortgage moments that I have done for the team. And then some of my other videos that we have in here. But I would encourage you to set one of these, if you don't have a YouTube channel today, set a YouTube channel up and then start to promote this through all of your different social media aspects here. And then the other piece that I would say is Linktree. I think there's also something called Social Tap. This is a way to put all of in Instagram, you can't put links. You have to actually put in the bio, you only have one opportunity. So this is Linktree. And I basically added my YouTube channel in here. I have Calendly, which will set up appointments for me. So if a buyer wants to come in and set up an appointment, this goes directly into my calendar. I have my online application. LinkedIn, again, I'm trying to get to LinkedIn. If I want to push them back to Facebook, they have my Facebook link, and then they can email me as well. So this is a $6 tool or $6 app, $6 a month, and you can add anything in here. I think it's important that you attach all of your social media platforms that you have, so that they have one place for anybody to look for you. In Instagram, it's absolutely necessary because you can only place one link inside of your bio. And so that's Linktree. It is $6. Social app, I think, is also $6. And then that is really it. What I will leave you with is that creativity takes courage. I saw this actually as I was trying to figure out what to put together for you. And I truly believe this. At a minimum, the one thing that I would encourage you all to do is to just do it. The content may be silly. I look back on some of my videos that I've done, even this, right? My training videos that I'm doing with you. If you had seen us scrambling to get this together for you, and yet to be so kind of calm and in this place, it takes practice. The only way you're going to get better at it is to just do it. If you need some accountability around it, you want to have a partner who will help hold you accountable, I would highly encourage you to reach out to myself, any of our prosperity lending loan officers, but have the courage to do it. I have actually seen some success in the last month in just building up my social media presence. And I'm not looking for the 10,000, although I think it'd be kind of cool, and I'd probably get super huge ratings from my daughter if I got a 10,000 likes or viewership on my Instagram or Facebook. But it just takes one person to respond back to you and asking you for information. Make sure that you're engaging with your clients and people that are actually speaking to you. And for those of you that are watching this today and you have any questions, you want to run through this more in depth, please feel free to reach out to me. You can always text me, call me, reach me on any of my social media platforms. But with that, All I got to say to you is let's go. Let's get this done. Be happy to help you in any way and know that I'm always here to help you. And I hope you have an amazing day. Until our next training, take care and be safe. Bye.